Right. Good morning, everybody. All right, our October 5th Public Works and Transportation and Public Facilities meeting. The minutes were emailed out to everyone, so I'll accept a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll move.
So moved. I need a second.
Second.
Second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. Attendance wise, myself, Matt Nieto, at Greenwood, and Finn, Ray Smith, and Gene Foley. Okay. Got that taken care of. Transportation Public Facilities.
Okay, we'll start with the highway crews as usual. You know, crews are working on trees, resident requests, patching of roads, basin repairs and small drainage projects. So as of right now, we have like 4 small drainage things to work on, backyard stuff. It's been really wet this year, so rather than do more damage, we've kept in contact with the residents, you know, to say we will be there. We want to do the least amount of damage we can. And so we'll be working on them probably next week sometime. We took advantage this week of the nice weather, and we've had a patch crew out every day patching roads, potholes, flow lines, whatever's been identified throughout the year. We're really focused on using in the good weather to get out there and do preventative maintenance on the road before the winter comes. So tree crew has been out almost every day as far as trimming and the number of resident requests that we've had come in. So that we always get a lot, and when they do see the truck out, they even call even more. So that being said, their guys are quite busy. Our window left is about this month from our summer season to our leaf pickup. So we try to jam as much in as we can this month. Personnel, I do have 1 vacancy left still. We still have some applications to canvass. I've gotten a few more like online and stuff, so I'll be reviewing them. We'll be getting some people in. I'm gonna leave a bit on here as tentative. I don't know that we'll get that far. We still have the 2 last hirees going through the process, so they haven't started yet. So we're looking forward to their start in the near future. So we'll take our time with this one and make sure we get a good fit. So number 4, parks as always, mowing the parks, town-owned facilities, boulevards, parkways. The crews, combination of highway and parks have finished the patio out front. Has been seeded. We have we have the handrail to fabricate and some small patching and some caulking to do. Other than that project's in the books. We did hand seed it when we're out hydro seeding the roadway edges from paving. We will come back over here and give it a spray while the hydro seeder is out.
That looks really nice.
Thank you.
Really, very nice.
Thank you. The guys worked hard and took a lot of pride in it, so
Much safer too. So thank you.
we're happy to help. Yard waste, so a little bit of change. The trucks will be randomly picking up yard waste starting October 10th, which is next week. Along with that is our loose brush pickup. So loose brush has to still be manageable in small bundles so that the guys can pick it up. So random means as you get your yard waste, please leave it curbside. Your day is not your scheduled day. You know, we could be, so I will say, depending on the amount of stuff being out, you know, a person that gets picked up on Tuesday may get picked up on Monday. So we encourage people, please put it out curbside. We don't have the time to go back and recanvass. So this time of year is traditionally heavy between leaves and grass clippings. So we have to keep moving to ensure that we can get to everybody in the town within a week's period. So we'll coach you along if you call. The flyer was in the paper on the Gazette on the 30th and in the Journal on the 29th. The schedule is also posted on our website in multiple places. So we will do our best to get everything picked up and just keep in mind that it's random. So I know it's tough to break the cycle of knowing you're there on Tuesday, but for us to be able to pick you up, you need to put it out as you get it. Town board resolution, as I say, it's tentative for the hiring of a maintenance worker. Paving update, paving for the 2023 season was finished yesterday. Our last area was, so we did Northumberland, Avon Crest Park, Westmoreland. And we did the Avon Crest Park as part of the SAM's grant, so that came out good.
Said you were gonna try to get them there while you had them.
Yes, because they were right in the vicinity, so we were able to utilize that and get that done. We also went over and did a TNL in Imperial and Trottingham, where some time ago, the force main, the sewer was replaced over there. The trenches had settled a little bit. We didn't quite get there with our paving schedule this year to be able to do the whole road. So, and it was getting quite rough. So we TNO'd one lane on both Imperial and Nottingham. So I feel as if we had a successful year paving. We had a good year. And as always, for my team doing the milling and all the prep work, it's a lot of work. It was hot here. Matt's crews, pleasure to work with. So I think as a combined effort, all people involved, we put out a good product. Infrastructure was all checked in all these areas. So I think at the end of the day, we have a really good thing going, and it's only because of the efforts that are put forth by the people who are doing it. So I just again want to thank everybody. And so we'll be out, you'll see the cruise landscaping, what was paved and hydro seeding. Now that it's cool, hydro seed has a better chance of growing now that we have moist mornings. And so get everything, we'll go back over everything we've done this year, touch ups, whatever, and put it to bed. Disc golf and low mow. So we had mowed what we could as of last month before the mower went down. The board approved the new style mower for the mowing it's going to help us keep down the invasive plants, which were identified throughout the year. We hope to take possession of that. Could be as soon as this week, if not next week.
We use them at this season.
We're gonna get that cleaned up before winter. I think we'll be on a good path to, I think, a little simpler and a little more manageable maintaining of our pilot program. So I think it'll work out good. The sweeper is still circulating the town. He's currently finishing up zone 3, but you will see him bouncing around because he does sweep the roads in which we're doing extensive patching. So you'll see him around. The purchase of the mower that I mentioned as of the board meeting has been ordered. And like I say, we hope to take possession of that, either this week or next week. The purchase of the detention basin mower, that was approved, has been ordered. We're looking at getting that by mid to end of October. Everything has been ordered, they go through them and be giving us a little rundown on how it works, and we hope to attack some of them, detention basins before the end of the year as well. Finance committee, so purchase of border for River Road Playground, the inclusive playground that we put in at River Road. We have ordered a border for around the outside, which includes ramps, accessibility ramps into the playground. I talked to Beth, we have the money for this, and this will be the finishing touches on that playground. It is usable right now. We put tape up around and some stakes to create a border, but this is some good finishing touches that will tie everything together over there. From the pavilion pad over and from the bike path over, we hope to put 2 accesses in that are friendly to those who will be using it. So the border, just so that you know what we're dealing with, is 14 to 18 weeks out. So time wise, that's why it's important to bring this now before the year ends. We'll encumber it. They were going to try to put a rush on it. They understand where we're at, and so that's the importance of ordering that now. Any open discussion for me? Just a couple things I have. I painted out this morning UFPO for a few sidewalk panels in front of the police department entranceway and over by the handicap parking. So my crews will be replacing approximately 25 panels. And like I say, we have to do this now before leaf season starts. It's a bit of a struggle, but it's something that needs to be done. So we're going to try to get that done here in the near future.
More stuff off of your list.
Off your list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, these areas we had identified as potential safety hazard. We were doing a safety survey just because of the way those panels had really kind of pitched and sank.
Yep.
So this is great to get that done. Thank you.
Back to River Road Park, you were talking about that. I mentioned earlier that I guess there's a walkthrough today for that Seneca Road area, which some of that drainage is part of that park and all that. That's happening today, right? Yes.
And won't be in that time.
Yeah, okay, good. That's very good. One other thing I mentioned to the supervisor and you also about this light at Balltown Road. There's
Not our lane.
no, you. Highway.
State road.
We gotta make a call to somebody over there. There's something that I don't believe right with that light at Balltown and Knott Street. It's only 18 seconds for northbound traffic.
I can call DOT.
Ray even said when he noticed it too, he was coming down. There's a lot of.
I've had 3 cycles from WRTB to get to the lights. Something has changed. And I told Bill I had noticed that the crosswalk light is at a bit tilted on the First National Bank side. So report that to them as well before the winter months come here or it tips over totally.
Like timing.
So I'll call the local division out of over here on Chrysler. We don't get any answers. We'll look for something a little higher up to try to make them aware.
rec center trails and.
No, it took a while, but we got everything that National Grid had requested. And so that part's done, so now we're just waiting, for, I guess, their legal team to review the request.
Anybody else? All right, and we'll close the portion of transportation and public facilities. Move on to public work.
Okay, so we've already done with the number one there, the approval of the minutes.
Yes.
So number two, attorney's items. We have an easement agreement for 2451 Hilltop Road. We have sanitary sewer easement that runs parallel to the road, and they want to put irrigation to the new house that was built. I don't have an issue with that. It's mostly out of our way, so it's just a standard agreement. I'll have all the information for you. The next item, when Rivers Ledge was built, part of their approval required the developer to replace or install a section of water main between the city feed coming up Aqueduct Road and the town feed coming down all town and then heading out towards Aqueduct Road. He provided additional redundancy for the facility or for the whole complex and also for that section of town. Also, there was a pressure reducing valve that was part of the project that would allow us to reduce the pressure along that section of the road to a more manageable level. We've been waiting for the contractor and the developer to do this work. They installed the main last maybe probably 2 years ago, and it's been turned off and dormant. They need to test the main again. It's been sitting for so long. Chlorinate it and test it for bacteria. It's standard as any new water main, and then turn it over to the town. They haven't done that yet, but that section of main needs to be in place before the pressure reducing valves that's required on Balltown Road, because that will be used to backfeed during the construction work. And they haven't done it yet. They're running out of time again, so they're looking to get this work done, and then the town will have a resolution to accept that water main. I think if everything works out and they are able to get the DOH approval for that main, beyond this month, to accept the water main and a town water main. Right now, it's private in our right of way, but no one's using it.
Where?
Must,
Us.
yes, and it will most likely remain that way, but in the event of an emergency or when they have a greater demand in both the city as well, the new section. They don't have that currently right now. So if they had a fire, they're limited on the amount of water that they have for that whole complex and for the lower section. I necessarily call it, I know there's many names for that area.
The flats.
Flats. So we want to get that done sooner than later. We were supposed to do it last fall, and then DOT put a stop to it because of timing, and they have to use a crane, and there's quite a bit of coordination that has to take place with the pressure reducing valve. So the first step is to get the water main approved by the town.
So it's ready to be flushing the test.
Flushing, that sense. They're working on that now, and then once they submit those results back to the Department of Health, then we can accept the main. So I just want to have that as a tentative resolution in case everything works out prior to the meeting, we can accept it. Let's see, the next water and sewer maintenance. I have it on there again, tentative resolution to appoint maintenance workers. We're still 2 people down to internal transfers. Interviewing applicants as they come along. I don't have any names yet. If I do get a name or two, I'll pass those along the next board meeting. Currently appointing water and sewer maintenance worker 2. We have someone who is getting close to the completion of his probationary period at the end of this month. So we'd like to have that on the it's Walensky. Just an update to sewer lining project on Oregon Ave and Union Street. which was awarded last year. It's finally starting. Contractor was delayed on other projects, so the working with town, that shouldn't have any impact on any of the users in town. Just something we can get off our books and finally just be awarded that contract. I think last April maybe, so it's been a while. And CT Mills continuing their design for the water main replacement on River Road between GE Circle and Platinum Park. Hoping to go out to bid sometime early next year for the project. Utility billing, bills were going to go out at the end of this week, but while processing the bills, Board Bill Clerk Chris Lachinsky noticed an issue with the 34 accounts that were there was a glitch in the software which was undercharging 34 accounts. So she made corrections, and if we take it to the special board meeting on Tuesday, we can still mail them out on Wednesday. It's just affecting 34 accounts, but it crosses into the warrant at the next meeting. And then the next two items are actually I have two new items. The second quarter 2023 corporate utility reconciliation that will be ready to go for the next board meeting. And we're hoping that the corporate utility warrant for the third quarter will be ready. We're waiting for a couple of the large users to get us their usage data. If that's available by the board meeting, that if not, next week. So, and I want to thank Ray for having guys help us out. We replaced a couple panels of sidewalk on Union Street and on Route 7. We're related to water and sewer work. Provided a mason and some other workers to help us with that work, so we get them both done in one day. Work within the requirements of DOT. So it was, I thank Ray for the help.
I was on Union Street and where else?
Union Street and Route 7
in State Street.
and State Street. Yes. Yeah.
So this was cost savings because we got one load of concrete and they did them all in one day. So, you know, Matt's guys labored and got the stuff in. We sent a few guys over for a couple of locations for finishing. And he had finishers as well. We just didn't have enough to cover them all. So he got one load of concrete, did all the DOT stuff, and we were able to, you know, that's a big savings rather than get a short load of concrete. So, and they all came out good. So that,
Water plant operator Josh Walter does this on the side also come out, and we had multiple people stage at each floor so that we could get it all done at once.
so it worked out.
Truck just went to place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know, no short load, and we had them out of here in time and they owned it out, so.
Wastewater treatment plant, just an update on the organic waste program. We're continuing to receive trucks, and also working with Barton Judas to finalize the data necessary to submit it to DEC to expand the types of waste accepted at the plant. Give us more flexibility. I want to thank Dan Volke from the engineering office and the guys at the sewer plant for all the work they've been doing too on changes and maintenance work they've been doing on some of the very sophisticated equipment on the plant, doing it in-house rather than bringing in contractors to the work. Our UV disinfection, our belt press, and then our sludge dryer too. They've done quite a bit of work on that. And I also mentioned the sludge dryer too. The repairs or the modifications that we approved several months ago have been completed, and the presses or the dryers working well, much more safe for the operators. A lot more information available as they run it. We did some control work on it so that they can identify issues where it becomes catastrophic and you have to stop. It's well worth the money spent on that. And that helps save on hauling costs for sludge to haul it around. Town, as was asked by the New York State Department of Health to take part in a surveillance program for COVID-19 at a wastewater treatment plant. They have multiple plants throughout the state that they take a weekly sample and they send it away to a lab to look for indicators of COVID-19 in the waste stream. It's a way for the state to track where it is within communities. We'll be starting our first sample collection Tuesday next week. It's just a matter of taking a bottle, putting it into a supplied box and just sending it over. They come in and actually pick it up. So it will be, it's voluntary on our part, but it's just good to share our information. It doesn't have much of an impact on our operations, but it just, and Cities Connected is currently doing it as well.
Where do you take the sample?
Where?
Yeah, is it at the head of the?
Right
plant?
ahead of the plant, yeah.
Head of the-
As it comes into the plant, they just grab it.
And do they share the results with you or not?
I think it is available on a webpage somewhere. I can find out the actual details, but I know they've been doing it statewide and
I've heard about that.
yeah, they've been asking us for months to take part and it was just, I wanted to wait until we were at a point where we could take on the additional
Mhm.
sampling, but it's really not that challenging.
Okay.
Water treatment plant, the upgrade project is ongoing. Meeting this week with the control contractor. We're gonna finalize a lot of the control screens that we're gonna be having at each pump station and at the different places within the plant. Getting rid of all the old mechanical switches and timers and going with modern technology. We're still waiting for National Grid to provide the generator. We've got everything prepped for it. Or I'm sorry, transformer. Transformer,
I know what you.
yeah. We've been told that it was shipped from Syracuse to Clifton Park. That's the last we heard, and that was a couple days ago. So hopefully, once it gets to Clifton Park, they can come in and do their part. Then our electrical contractor can go from there back into the control building. We're still waiting on the electrical switch gear, which has been almost a year and a half for the delivery. We're hopeful that will be here at the end of the year or early next year. But we're making.
What manufacturer?
Square D. I'm not completely sure. I think it's Square D. So that will be the last major component of the upgrade project, and button up the project. So I'm hopeful, but it's supply chain issues. We extended the contract a little bit to account for that. Mentioned the transformer. When the contractor that was working down there, when we originally got the quote for his work to prep the pad and set the concrete, we said we would provide our front end loader and some additional assistance as far as labor. When he was doing the work, there were some things that we had something going on at the plant, so we didn't have the time to do what we said we would do. So I think there's an additional $700 or something in that range. He went over the original contract amount. So we just have to do a change order on that. It's so much cheaper than if we had included in the major part of this contract for the upgrade. It's just a smaller contract just for the pad. Recycling center, transfer station, landfill. So the fall shredding event is still going to take place on the 21st from 9 to 12. The only difference is we're still looking for volunteers. For anyone who's interested in coming in and helping out within the town, we greatly appreciate it. There's a sign up sheet floating around town hall. We're also taking in more than just TVs this year. We're taking in batteries, fluorescent light bulbs, any electronics.
I did see a list.
Yeah.
That went out. Is that on the website? I didn't.
Yes, it is.
There it is. Okay, yeah, and it's very extensive.
Yes, yeah, and it's all free.
It's all free. That's great. It'll be very, interesting to see how much we get.
We've requested twice the amount of boxes that we normally get from
Okay.
the company that takes away the waste. We assume that everyone who came in the past with a carload full of electronics and a TV that we had to turn away because we weren't taking the other things, they'll be back.
Right.
Computers, laptops, but yeah.
We just pick them up off the dead ends out there.
Cycle day.
I know when the event don't go well, you just go to any dead end and pick up a TV or a computer.
And the shredding will be taking place also. It is 1 hour shorter than years in the past, years past, that was what shredding company we did provide. But I think he's
Usually full by the time he leaves anyway.
Yeah.
Stay. So stay every year.
Yeah.
He's got
I think what's gonna happen, we usually had a lull. And then people show up right at the end, so I think that's just gonna, that lonely go away and just solid straight through.
posts. So hopefully we'll get some more volunteers and that.
That's all I have.
And anybody have anything else for Matt's portion? We
And a motion to go into executive session,
all, okay,
discuss potential litigation.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, unopposed. Our next meeting is November 2nd at 8 AM. Let's say that. Okay, we're adjourned on that.
Shut the door.